First up on the list, seeing a beautiful woman and calling her beautiful.
What?
Yes, you heard me right. Apparently doing this too much turns off, freaks out, just annoys a lot of beautiful women. Now, as a guy, I immediately think, well, are you kidding me? I mean, if you're beautiful and if I state it, isn't that a nice thing? But the more I read into these comments from the women on Reddit, it actually made a lot of sense why it was upsetting them. First up, the majority of these beautiful comments were coming from men that they don't even know. Next up, a lot of times when they're told they're beautiful, apparently they're told this again and again and again and again and again in the same conversation within 30 seconds. But the most insightful comment was actually from a male doctor who talked about how he didn't get it until he grew out his hair. All of a sudden, multiple times a day on a shift, he's getting stopped. Oh, you have such beautiful hair. People grabbing his hair without him even giving him consent. He's just simply trying to go do his rounds, and he has people stopping him about his hair throughout the day. I mean, I don't know about you, but that would be pretty annoying to me. Now, obviously, I'm making some huge generalizations in this video, and if you agree, disagree, if you've got something to add, guys, I want to hear from you down below in the comments. Now, this next one I was totally oblivious to, had no idea that apparently women don't like this, but it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, and that is, after she leaves, you follow her to her car to try to get her number. I mean, you were having a great conversation, you were talking, and all of a sudden, she had to run out. You're like, I needed to get her number, I forgot to ask for it. You've had a couple drinks, you go jogging out, you're chasing her, all of a sudden, you've got a block, and she's wondering, who is this guy coming after me? Now, obviously, the vast majority of guys don't mean anything by this. We simply just wanted to have the chance to get her number. But think about the situation you're putting her in. She's now outside alone with someone who is stronger that she doesn't know very well. And yeah, you've put her in a very different situation than you were just a few minutes ago in the club. Next up, jokingly using your strength to lift her up or to keep her in place. Apparently, women do not like it when you put your hands on them without permission and you don't allow them to move, or you move them without them expecting it. So if you already know the person, if you're close, if it's your wife, this is where in the comments it kind of like, hey, I don't mind if my husband does this, but somebody I don't know, especially maybe somebody that looks like they could get violent, someone that's had a couple drinks and puts his arm up to stop me from going anywhere. Personally, I've never done this, but I do know guys that are very large, and let's say when they've had a few drinks, they have no problem putting their arms, putting their hands around people, using their strength, and for them, it's just all fun and games. But for the ladies, no, they're pretty clear, don't do this. Next up, the small white lies that she knows you're telling. Example, you're late again, and you tell her it's work. But she knows that's not the case because she remembered that last week you said you would have this afternoon off. Now I get it, you didn't want to bother her with the details that you were actually meeting up with your ex because you had to settle that issue with the kids. But here's the thing, that little white lie that she just caught you in, it's building up. And more sooner than later, if it hasn't already happened, she's gonna stop believing you. And with that being said, gents, let me ask you, are you lying about why you're not performing in the bedroom? Are you lying and saying you're tired? You had a tough day at work. I just don't feel like it tonight. The reality is 52% of men at some point in their life deal with erectile dysfunction. Let that sink in for a moment. More men than not will deal with this issue, will deal with, hey, I just simply can't get it up when I want to in bed. Gents, if you're dealing with ED, understand you do have options. And that's why, gents, I bring you the sponsor of today's video, Roman. Roman is a digital health clinic for men that provides effective treatments for ED online. The Roman platform utilizes U.S. licensed medical professionals, and all treatments depend on gaining a prescription after a medical evaluation by a doctor or nurse practitioner on the Roman platform. And what I love about Roman is that treatment is convenient. You can be evaluated, diagnosed, and receive treatment all from the comfort of your own home. The initial online visit and all follow-ups are free 2-day shipping, and discreet. And the best part, ED treatment starts at about $2 a dose. Oh, and if you're dealing with premature ejaculation, hair loss, or other men's confidence issues, Roman has you covered. Let's jumpstart your best year by prioritizing yourself and dealing with the issue at hand. Work with Roman. They can help you solve your ED problems. To get started, gents, go to getroman.com/RMRS or click on the link in the description of today's video to start your online visit. And if you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Again, gents, that's getroman.com/RMRS. So the next thing a lot of guys do that apparently scares women is asking them where they live. Do they live alone right off the bat? Now I understand why a lot of guys do this is, hey, you're just curious, like, where is she from? Is she from this area? Is it worth me pursuing the conversation? Maybe you simply are looking for a connection. You know Chicago pretty well. You're familiar with New York City or Miami, wherever she is from, you're at, and you want to get an idea. Just say, do we know people in common? Unfortunately, a lot of women, especially when they don't know you very often, they're like thinking, is this guy a stalker? Is he going to try to track me down? Is he wanting to find out, okay, there's no one at my apartment, he's going to use that against me? You know, a lot of women apparently make things up about how they live with their parents, they've got all this other stuff, because they don't like that question being asked too soon. I do think it's a fine question to ask after you have already been deep into a conversation. Maybe you've met up with a person, you've seen them a few times, you know them from work. It's just, you know, out of curiosity, but you got to be careful with this because apparently it creeps out a lot of women. Now, this next one seems obvious to me, but I can see why some guys may just think it's funny. So you connect with her on that dating app and you can actually see location. She's actually in the same train car, or she's relatively close that you can see her in the bar, and you say, hey, I can see you, but you can't see me. Apparently, the women that talked about this said this creeps them out and scares them, and they immediately want to leave the area, but they're scared to because they feel you may follow them out. And that, yeah, let's just not do this, guys. I agree. This one just is not good news. Trying to convince her you are a nice guy. First up, why do you need to do this? I don't know. This is something I've never had an issue with. I mean, it's been a while since I've been dating, but maybe you guys disagree. Let me know down in the comments. Now, I did see a quote that I thought was pretty interesting, and the guy said that, hey, there's a big difference between nice guys and guys that are nice. I actually agree. I think the latter is where men should want to be. I think Jordan Peterson talked about this. Men should be dangerous. And that just simply means you have the ability to defend yourself. You have power, but you choose to withhold it. You choose not to go around hurting people, but you are someone that could if that was the path that you chose, but you choose not to be that person. And you guys, Jordan Peterson fans, if that is you, do me a favor and smash that like button. Oh yeah, we love JP. Hitting on a woman when she is trapped. She's working at your event. You're in this position of power. You could fire her, and yet you are choosing to hit on her. You're there. She's the bartender. She is your server. She's your waitress. You are driving the taxi. There was this one story, the woman saying, yeah, I'm in a locked moving car, and the guy is flirting with me who's driving the car, and he's asking me for my number. Now, what she was able to do is get his number, and she kind of flipped the situation. But guys, if you have a woman trapped, figuratively or literally, you know, that's not a great time to be flirting with her and trying to get something from her. Now, this next one I've got mixed feelings about, and that is offering a woman a ride. Apparently, women do not like this when guys stop, slow down, and, you know, offer a ride, pull right in front of them. I don't think you should ever cut them off. On the other hand, offering somebody a ride, especially if the weather turns, if it's cold outside. I remember one time I offered a woman a ride just because she was simply walking down the road. I'm like, what is going on here? Very strange story. Actually turned out to be, I think, a woman of the night, and I just simply dropped her off at where she wanted to go. I genuinely thought I was trying to be a nice person. And I've given guys rides too. Like, it's not something I did quite a bit when I was stationed in Florida. People always seem to be walking down the roads. Point being is, I can see now that I've got 3 daughters, another one on the way, it is something that I would not want them to jump in a car with a random man offering them a ride. So I see the point, but I have to say that, you know, it's sad we're in a world that, yeah, we just can't be nice to each other. And I think genuinely many people are just trying to be nice, but there are people that take advantage of this. Now, this next one's interesting, and I agree with it because I've had people do this with me in the vehicle. I've actually never had a woman do this, but guys, I don't know what it is about it. When we drive, sometimes we get incredibly aggressive. That road rage kicks in. Somebody cuts us off, and we just let go. And this oftentimes is a habit. It's the way people, they drive and they react. Again, I haven't had a woman do this, but I've had multiple of my friends. I've had people in my family. This is just simply the way they are when they drive. And it scares me because I just don't drive like that. And to have this person right there in control of the vehicle who I'm not sure about their stability, and I just wouldn't react. Now, one interesting thing, I saw a woman on Reddit talk about how this was actually a great thing because what her husband did, the man she eventually married, he would sing to the people that would cut him off. And he'd be like, "What are you doing, you crazy woman?" And apparently she thought it was just funny the way that he reacted. And that's what everyone talked about, going off on the tangent on this. Everyone was like, it just simply shows the way that this person has rage and the way that they deal with and they may manage anger. So I could see where that would be something that could cause red flags. Next up, apparently a lot of women are scared off if you won't give up, if you're overly persistent. And this one's interesting because as men, I feel that we have to go after things in life and we need to be a bit aggressive. And I mean that in a good way, because if you are passive and you just sit back and wait for things to happen to you, life is going to pass you by. But I think a lot of us apply this too much to trying to pressure another person. And you would read the examples. I mean, they seem pretty obvious. Just continuing to send texts after her again and again saying, no interest, please leave me alone, stop, stop, stop. Yet many of us have heard about these relationships in which you were persistent and she actually came and it worked out. You hear these stories, from our grandfathers and stuff like that. So this is where it's very mixed. I would say, again, it's something that I think you need to try and you need to put forth effort to have a solid relationship with somebody. But that being said, there's that line between being just a psycho and overly aggressive and just simply, hey, giving it a shot. Perhaps giving it a shot is asking twice. And maybe, if you notice that it wasn't a straight up no. I mean, if it's no, no means no. But this is an area that, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below to expand on this. What is being overly aggressive? What does it mean? When should you give up? Again, I want to hear from you guys down below. I appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate you guys adding to the conversation. So, what video to watch next? How about things that men are oblivious to? That apparently women really pay attention. I mean, they notice these things and we just, they fly right by us. What am I talking about, guys? Find out in this video. Boom, right there. Come on. It's magically, hang in there, click it, go check it out. It's a good one. Really, boom, go check it out.